Hey friends, welcome. Today let's talk about product photography. You know that chore we love to hate? Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. When you're selling online, it is very important that you have really good pictures because you want to capture your buyer at the very first sight. Chances are they're not going to look at your description. They're not going to look at anything else. They're just going to look at your pictures. So if your pictures don't capture your buyer, they probably won't buy from you. On that note, if you have pictures of your product on the ground or what looks like the ground, it doesn't appeal to the buyer very much. They don't want to see a t-shirt on the ground or a napkin on the ground or anything else like that. You want to give it a little bit of a real life feel. So if you're selling t-shirts, wear one, model one, get a cute model, take a picture. If you're selling napkins, get a cute little plate and place setting, take a picture like that. You always want to give it a real life vibe. Giving it a use, your product a use. If you're wearing a watch, you want to wear the watch and show that it is there. Also on that note, it does show the buyer how big it is. So this is just, if I was selling a watch and I showed it on my wrist, they would be able to see like, oh, okay, like that's a decent sized watch. Taking a picture with a white wall and nothing else and it's just white does not give the buyer a use, does not show them the size relative, and stuff like that. So that's definitely very important. As you can tell here, I just have a white wall. That's all I have. My entire office is painted white besides my rainbow wall. These cakes right here, I made them. It's just styrofoam and a little bit of some plaster. Oh, I also forgot. This camera, you can use your phone. I have my phone right here. And you can use your phone to take your pictures. I do that sometimes. Most of the time when I'm doing a full theme setup like this, I use my camera. It's a Canon EO5 1300D. I have no knowledge on photography at all whatsoever. I do not. I bought this used off eBay for maybe $200, $300. It came with a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of lenses and fisheye things and filters that I've never used before. But anyway, I bought this for super cheap on eBay. It was used maybe 5 years ago. So this is really come in handy. So if you're looking for a nice camera, definitely check eBay and used or refurbished first before you go out and buy a new one. So today I am going to take these pictures with this camera, probably for my social media and stuff like that, because it's just easier. I'll take a few snapshots with my phone. But otherwise we're just going to use that one camera. I always like to, when I take pictures of my products, I always like to either group them, like this is a full theme and it's right here. But also when you take your pictures, is you want, like if I'm going to take a picture of these cupcake toppers, I'm going to bring them up a little bit. And when I do take a picture of it, I'm going to have in the background something else that maybe the buyer will want to purchase. On that note, you always want to make sure that whatever you're selling is in the forefront. But oftentimes, like on Etsy, especially for like a graduation theme, because that's what I'm selling right here, is someone will put in graduation party decorations. And let's say they're not necessarily looking for a banner, but they don't really know what they're looking for. Let's say they see my picture of my banner, but they were like, oh, I don't really want the banner, but there's something else in that picture. They're going to click that picture, or they're going to click that listing, and then they're going to move into like, oh, okay, so she sells this and this. Same concept with the cupcake toppers. If you bring this forward and you place it kind of a little bit in between my stir sticks and my banner, what if they're not looking for cupcake toppers? But then they kind of see in the background of it like, oh, she sells something else. They'll click this to see that you do offer other items, and like your links and descriptions and everything else like that will link back to your shop. And this goes for any website building. If you're on Shopify, I do the same on Shopify. Websites, you do the same. You always think of it, your online store, like a catalog that you would get in the mail back in the day. I think I still get some. Party City and Oriental Trading Company are two main ones that I get all the time. And they have same deal. They have a full setup. They offer a wide range of products in that one theme. And they always kind of say like, oh, you can buy this or this or this, because not everyone is looking for one thing, right? Same thing like if you sell bracelets and rings, but if you have it all together, like, oh, I'm not really looking for a bracelet, but I am looking for a ring, and they will click that. Same thing with your shirts. If you have different options or different colors, having that in the background of your model or anything else like that would make the buyer want to click your listing and then go start perusing into your office. The only other thing that I have suggestions on photography tips, which we'll go to the computer after I'm done taking pictures with my camera. We'll go to my computer and I'll show you the software that I use. It is the only software that I pay for a monthly subscription just because it is so easy to edit your photos. After you do the first one, it's just 2 clicks and that's it. It's so easy. Okay, so let me take pictures with these and then we'll move over to the computer and I'll show you the rest. Okay, so now I am done pictures and we are on my laptop getting ready to edit them. Like I said previously, the only app that I pay for on a monthly basis besides Design Space is Lightroom. So it's super easy. They also have one on your phone if you have an Apple phone. I don't know if they have one for Android, but it's called Lightroom Express or Photoshop Express. It's free to use. That's what I use on my phone sometimes when I do take pictures, but otherwise that I just do it all on my laptop. Super easy. I pay for it anyway. It's a lot easier to edit pictures when you're on your computer versus on your phone. That's why I like to do it this way versus being on my phone. Okay, so let me show you how simple and easy it is. Outside of doing the random resizing edits that you're going to need to do, go right here and resize this so you get rid of some of the things that we don't need in there. Okay, I'm just going to crop that. Just pressed enter and I cropped it. Already I see a huge difference that I'm just loving. With the arrows right here, I always like to just and again, I'm going to go back to, I have no idea with photography what in the world I'm doing. I just kind of move the sliders around until I get the look that I'm looking for of what it should look like in person. We're just kind of dragging this around. I always like to use the temp and go over into the blue. Very rarely do I ever put it into the yellow because when you do the yellow, you kind of get this like yellowish tint to it, and I like blue lighting. And then there shouldn't be too many edits because I do have a really well lit room, so there shouldn't be too many. And then I always like to bump up the clarity so it's nice and crisp. Okay, the coolest and easiest thing, and this is what makes it so easy, is that they have a copy and paste feature for this. So if you have an edit, like I actually really like the edits of this picture. So I like this and I'm going to copy. So it says right here, I copied the edit settings. I'm going to find my next picture, which is going to be this cake topper, and I'm going to paste. And you can tell that there is just a little bit of changes, and it's the same changes that I did with the first picture. It's just going over into the last. And conveniently, I really like this picture. So then you can just keep going. And then if you don't like that, obviously you can change back over onto your right, all your changes that you originally did before. But like all the edits that I do, for the most part, I generally don't have to change very much of it because, I'm not going to use this picture because of this light. You can see the light bulb right there. But generally when I do one edit, I never have to really change much at the end of it. But let's do a different item. Here's a different cake topper that I offer. Looks pretty good. I think it does need to be a little bit brighter, so you can up the exposure. You could obviously just keep changing it around until you get the look that you're looking for. But that is it, and it's so simple. This also gets saved into the cloud, so you can pick that up off your phone or a different computer if you have one. The other cool feature about this too is you see that I am using a fake cake. I'd said that earlier. And then all these holes. I don't like those holes, but there's nothing you can do about it since I'm reusing the same thing. Over here, there's a little Band-Aid button, and you can just hover over it, click and hover, and then this little box will pop up, and then you can just erase them. Look at that. We'll get out of that so you can see. But now some of the holes are gone. Ready? We'll go there. There it is. That's amazing, right? I just love this. Okay, so I think that's it when it covers on photography and product photography. Hopefully you learned something new. All right, I will see you later.